फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स,
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स,
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट।
Hello and welcome to Cricket Next. मैं हूं सौम्य कपूर and the series between India and England is leveled at 1-1. जो स्क्वाड अनाउंस हुआ था वो पहले 2 टेस्ट मैचेस के लिए हुआ था, जिसमें से विराट कोहली was not available. Well, as Cricket Next earlier reported, the squad for the remaining test will be out within 24 hours to 48 hours. लेकिन विराट कोहली अवेलेबल होंगे या नहीं, it's still a question mark. एक बहुत बड़ा डिबेट है, ये बहुत बड़ा डिस्कशन है. We'll talk more about this. I have with me Sahil Malhotra, K. Srinivas Rao and Vineet Ramakrishnan joining me in this session. Welcome to Cricket Next, everyone. Sahil, let's start with you. What is happening? What is actually happening? What exactly is the status of Virat Kohli? Is he available? Is he not? कुछ भी बात हो रही है.
I think our thumb text is kind of actually summing up the situation right now because the status is unknown. No one in the board knows as of now, as of yesterday. Not many people knew about his whereabouts, and that is what I think is leading to the delay in the squad because इतना rocket science था नहीं third test के squad को name करने का because more or less you kind of have indications about Jadeja and KL Rahul's availability already. Jadeja is more or less likely to miss the third test because the hamstring injury takes some time to heal, and he's already checked into NCA, so his road to come back is going to be longer than KL Rahul. That is what we are hearing as of now. एंड अभी से विकेट कीपर का आपको इशू था और ईशान किशन का जितना रायता फैल चुका है तो ईशान किशन तो आपको आता दिख नहीं रहा है. सो ध्रुव जुरैल, केएस भरत आपको दिख ही रहे हैं. बुमराह के रेस्ट के लेके बहुत स्पेकुलेशंस चल रही हैं. सो अदर देन विराट कोहली आई डोंट सी anything which is leading a delay in the squad announcement right now. And as we said, his status is unknown and BCCI continues to be mum on his availability.
Yeah. But Srini, why is BCCI mum? Why can't they just note or a simple tweet on social media कि boss this is the status and this is why विराट कोहली का जो status है वो exactly ये है. He's there, he's not. Yeah, even you don't have any communication, you can communicate that to the people, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've 20 plus years of tracking BCCI. The one thing I've learned is you can't use BCCI and communication in the same sentence. That's the last thing that they do. They don't know how to communicate. The cricket board, the Indian cricket board is many things. The Indian cricket board is like, the so-called richest board in the world. They know how to make money. They know all the right things to do. They don't know how to communicate. As far as Virat is concerned, I see only 2 issues here. One is ये मेरा hunch है. पहली बात तो तुमने एक प्रेस रिलीज जब भेजा था उसमें क्या बोला था, फर्स्ट 2 टेस्ट मिस होंगे. अब वो विराट कोहली गली का क्रिकेटर तो नहीं है, बहुत बड़ा क्रिकेटर है वो. मतलब वो उसका सोचो, हिज लाइफ वुड बी एवरीथिंग इन हिज लाइफ वुड बी अबाउट प्लानिंग. एवरी सिंगल थिंग इन हिज लाइफ वुड बी अबाउट प्लानिंग. So if he told BCCI that it will be 2 tests, it will be 2 tests, and that's what the BCCI conveyed. I'm not going to look beyond that. Right now, I'm going to only take into account that the BCCI said 2 tests. After that, he'll be back, and let's hopefully, let's hope that it remains the case. As far अब यही है कि मतलब अगर पॉजिटिव न्यूज रहता आ रहा होता तो अभी तक लीक हो गया रहता. नहीं लीक हुआ है तो आई एम कीपिंग माय फिंगर्स क्रॉस्ड.
Okay. Vineet, what is your take? लीक हो गया होता अगर कुछ पॉजिटिव न्यूज होता है, एंड कैन बी कहीं ना कहीं एक हंच हो सकता है, कहीं ना कहीं वी कैन पुट अप दैट गेस कि शायद थर्ड मैच भी अभी नहीं आने वाला. What do you have to say?
Look. As Srini and Sahil mentioned, it's BCCI keeping mum, and you asked about BCCI इसके बारे में कुछ बोल नहीं रहा है, ट्वीट डाल दे, कुछ डाल दे. Look, their first release itself was very much clear, right? Keep privacy, maintain the privacy, and that was probably one of the lengthier BCCI in detailed releases you'd have seen in the recent memory.
Yeah.
So that pretty much said that it's a no go kind of a thing. What is the status, as you mentioned? Yeah,
I remember that press release. वो इतना सारा thesaurus use करने का जरूरत नहीं था BCCI को. Empathy, privacy, बड़ा word.
Exactly the point, because they are not used to it, no. So once एक ऐसा चीज आया, they tried to communicate to you in detail, which again, as really mentioned, कुछ ज्यादा ही.
वो जिसने भी press release draft किया वो clear ऐसा dictionary लेके बैठा था.
So with that, I mean, it's pretty much clear. Just तरीके से I covered the Isaac test and the Hyderabad test. I was trying to see, what I could get from this, and everybody was keeping mum in the sense कि यार clear
Yeah.
distance था. So
Hmm.
right now we can only speculate. It's just an hopeful thing that you asked me कि third test में दिखेंगे तो अच्छा होगा यार. Nasir Hussain just थोड़ी देर पहले उन्होंने in his column he mentioned that what this test series is missing is Anderson versus Kohli. अब it is anybody's guess. I mean, देखो जिस तरीके से वो प्रेस रिलीज था, we can only speculate. जिस तरीके से हंस है, श्री correctly mentioned, अगर कुछ न्यूज होता पॉजिटिव होता, it would have been leaked by now. नहीं है तो you would at least assume that he is not coming by. At least he won't be named for in the three tests, the remaining three test matches. His availability, he's that big a player that he probably could call, anybody in that BCCI and say that, what, I'm making myself available. उस हिसाब से कोई लेट एंट्री हो सकता है. This is not hard and fast rule कि स्क्वाड अनाउंस कर देता है, अब इसमें किसी को बाहर या अंदर नहीं कर सकते. So you can only be hopeful. Otherwise, there's no news at all. Speculation, as you said, it's unknown,
Okay.
absolute unknown about
Okay,
his availability.
I have another confusion as we have been talking about. Sahil, बीसीसीआई ने पहले 2 टेस्ट मैचेस की बात करी, लेकिन दे वर नॉट रियली क्लियर इन दैट प्रेस रिलीज की थर्ड में आ सकते हैं या नहीं. यू कैन इजीली मेंशन कि द डिसीजन विल बी टेकन आफ्टरवर्ड्स. सो व्हाई इज दैट? एक और कंफ्यूजन क्रिएट करने का क्या था?
I think I kind of get a feeling that things are not really good when it comes to the personal emergency. I'm just getting that feeling. So there were rumors floating around his mother's health, and his brother kind of posted a story on Instagram and cleared the air that the mother is absolutely fit and fine, nothing wrong on that front. So, matlab, I just don't want to get into the space where we are speculating what is happening when it comes to his family or the personal emergency or the personal reason. But things aren't looking good. Let's be very honest. Things aren't looking good because Virat Kohli hasn't been away from public glare for this long. I think probably after the World Cup final, आपने उसको इतने time तक away from social media glare and everything, no airport spottings, anything. The viral Byanis of the world haven't spotted him at any airport in the recent past. So things aren't looking good. And my cue for the Virat's confusion venturing into the unknown territory was from that Rahul Dravid press conference, which Vineet probably attended in Vizag, where the coach didn't have any clue as of the last day of the test match. अगर वापस आ रहा होता कोई communication channel तो establish होना चाहिए था ना. वो मतलब टेस्ट के बाद तक उनको आइडिया नहीं था कि क्या होने वाला है. एंड ही जस्ट पास द बक टू द सिलेक्टर्स दैट द सिलेक्टर्स आर इन अ बेटर पोजीशन टू आंसर दैट क्वेश्चन एंड दे विल रिकनेक्ट विद हिम अगेन. So whether that reconnection happened in the last couple of days, again, it's unknown territory, and like people are trying to swim into those unknown waters, but they are returning empty-handed as of now.
Yeah, Indian head coach telling all those things, it's since itself it's hilarious. Yeah, Vineet, you were saying something.
No, I just wanted to get that point on across about what Sahil had mentioned. Look, he was clueless. He said he's clueless about the pitch. He said he's clueless about Virat Kohli's availability. He said he's clueless about Ishan Kishan's availability. So yeah, I mean, if the coach is saying on the final day of the second test, but also इनमें से एक चीज ये भी देखना है कि there's still a 10-day gap. So he would not have had the answer, even if you asked him at that point, at that juncture. 10 days is a long gap. अब अगले 2-3 दिन में आपको थोड़ा बहुत क्लियर पिक्चर मिल जाएगा. But then as he mentioned, सब तो selectors, he's a coach, somebody who's like takes a backseat and says कि जो मेरे को selection मिल गया मैं उसके हिसाब से देखूंगा. And he's very diplomatic that way, right? He was never going to give you a clear cut answer in these press conferences.
Okay. Now I have an interesting question for all of you. Srini, what score do you make with and without Virat Kohli? Just for the one test. Let's not jump onto the other two.
नहीं देखो क्या विकेट रहेगा, क्या कंडीशंस रहेगा. यू आर मूविंग फ्रॉम एक्सट्रीम ईस्ट टू एक्सट्रीम वेस्ट. तो क्या रहेगा कंडीशन. आई एम अज्यूमिंग कि अगर अच्छा विकेट बनता है, अच्छा विकेट मतलब माय अजम्पशन ऑफ अच्छा विकेट इज जो विशाखापट्टनम में था, अच्छा विकेट था. तो अगर विशाखापट्टनम में विकेट बताए और अगर विराट वापस नहीं आ रहा है, केएल वापस नहीं आ रहा है, तो जो 11 लेके चले थे वही 11 लेके आगे जाओ. ये कोई, मैं भी सुन रहा था कोई बोले जसप्रीत बुमराह को रेस्ट. भाई अगर इंजरी नहीं है तो खिलाओ उसको. ये टेस्ट मैच तो इम्पोर्टेंट है. आप चाहिए तो रांची में बिठा दो, धर्मशाला तक, फिर वापस वो ही कैन रीग्रुप एंड कम बैक. ये टेस्ट मैच खेलना जरूरी है. और हाँ, एक ही है वो मुकेश कुमार साहब, तो वो राहुल द्रविड़ देखेंगे. उन्होंने कुछ मतलब ऑब्वियसली ऐसी चीज देखी है जो हम किसी को दिख नहीं रहा है. तो वो एक क्वेश्चन मार्क रहेगा। बाकी 10 तो पिक देमसेल्व्स। मुझे लगता है कि अगर वो विशाखापट्टनम वाली ही विकेट खिला रहे हो तो आप सिराज को डाल दो ना वापस स्क्वाड में। वो थोड़ा सा एक पेस है, एक अर्ली एक्साइटमेंट लेके आता है वो न्यू बॉल के साथ में, तो आई थिंक ही इज एनी विच वेज एन असेट। आई डोंट सी व्हाई यू शुड नीड टू ड्रॉप सिराज टू पिक अ मुकेश कुमार। मतलब मुझे मुझे कोई कारण बता दे कुछ भी, तो फिर क्या, और जसप्रीत बुमराह का थोड़ा वर्कलोड भी कम हो जाए, तो उस हिसाब से दैट्स इट। अदरवाइज तो आप बैटिंग ऑर्डर के साथ या बाकी 10 के साथ आप टिंकर नहीं करोगे अगर वही विकेट थोड़ा बहुत अच्छा विकेट रहा। और
Okay.
हाँ, वैसा ही विकेट बनेगा जहाँ तक मेरा ख्याल है, वही हो।
Okay, Sahil, Srini just mentioned about Siraj. Any updates on Siraj? Will he be making a comeback to the team after resting him for the second one?
I think वो रेस्ट का जरूरत नहीं था. आप उसको वाइजैक लेकर गए, if I'm not wrong, Vineet, he joined the team and then he was released. I did
Then
not
he
see
was
any
released.
logic happening there.
Yes,
मतलब वो
yes, he
क्या
was
वर्कलोड
released.
मैनेज कर रहे थे. अगर उसको नहीं खिलाना था उसको नहीं लेके जाते, उसको फ्लाइट करवाया, फिर उसको वापस घर भेजा. और क्या वर्कलोड, वो पहला टेस्ट मैच में कितना बॉल डाला यार हैदराबाद के अंदर, जो उसका
11
वर्कलोड मैनेज
overs.
करना था. और बुमराह का भी अगर आप बात करो, ओनली द सेकंड टेस्ट वाज द पीरियड वेयर ही probably had those lengthy spells, and even then Rohit was using him in short bursts. It wasn't that he was bowling 8 to 9 overs on the trot. So यहाँ पे वर्कलोड, मतलब that very fancy and overused term right now in Indian cricket. मतलब अभी what do you have to look forward to? You have just the IPL, right? And there's still some gap between the last test and the IPL, at least 10 days. So workload manage हो जाएगा यार. There is a test series to be won. And right now you need Bumrah on the park. I don't want to go into the Siraj space right now because I still feel India need one extra batter at the cost of an extra seamer. Let Bumrah do the magic, क्योंकि मुकेश ने भी ज्यादा बॉल नहीं डाला, right, in the Vizag test where the wicket actually had something where you could use the two fast bowlers. So keep Bumrah as your pace spirit for this test at least. Use the three spinners, get an extra batter because KS Bharat is doing no justice to the spot which he's holding in the 11 right now. Shreyas Iyer is down on confidence, down on form. He's under edging, undercutting. I don't know. I haven't seen Shreyas this much at sea as he has been in this series so far, and he was expected to flourish. He was supposedly your best batter against spin, which I still believe, but वो माइंड स्पेस उसका उतना सॉर्टेड नहीं लग रहा. तो उस सेंस में तो आप यार एक एक्स्ट्रा बैटर खिला दो, क्योंकि यशस्वी और शुभमन के अलावा तो किसी के रन नहीं लगे हुए ना अभी. तो सिराज विराज का डिस्कशन अभी बाजू हटा के, गेट बुमराह ऑन द पार्क, गेट थ्री स्पिनर्स, बीफ अप योर बैटिंग विद एन एक्स्ट्रा बैटर, बिकॉज when you have the likes of KS Bharat and Shreyas Iyer in the 11.
What is your first seven or first six?
So Yashasvi Jaiswal, Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, then 4 Rajat Patidar. I'll continue with Rajat Patidar. I'll probably have one more game to Shreyas Iyer. You have KS Bharat. I'll try to squeeze in a Sarfaraz Khan because you need to kind of वो बैटिंग बढ़ाना पड़ेगा यार, क्योंकि अभी वो मतलब अश्विन से मेरे को उतना कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं आता जितना प्रॉब्ली एक जडेजा और अक्सर से आता है.
Why not?
तो उस सेंस के सॉरी
I'm saying why not a Dhruv Jurel then?
Dhruv Jurel, मतलब they have to be bold, right? Are they that bold that they'll make multiple changes in the 11? That is the biggest question, right? They aren't. बहुत सेफ्टी फर्स्ट अप्रोच फॉलो होता है. और ये आपको मतलब हम वाइजैक टेस्ट से पहले वी हैड मल्टीपल डिस्कशंस अराउंड वॉशिंगटन सुंदर, बट लुक एट द रूट विच दे चोज फॉर द 11, राइट? दे वेंट द सेफ वे. इंग्लैंड picked one seamer in James Anderson, but we had two. So probably they read conditions better than us. That is what the impression is coming, right? They knew that it's a one fast bowler wicket, but we went with two and we underbowled the second bowler because the second bowler was all over the place, Mukesh Kumar, in that game.
Okay.
तो उस सेंस के अंदर अगर आप ध्रुव जुरेल को लेके आते हो, आप केएस भरत को बिठा रहे हो. केएस भरत को अगर आप बिठा रहे हो तो श्रेयस अय्यर हैज डन नो बेटर देन केएस भरत, राइट? तो फिर मल्टीपल चेंज होगा. आर दे दैट बोल्ड इन एब्सेंस ऑफ विराट कोहली एंड केएल राहुल supposedly?
And if Virat is there for the selection available,
Shreyas goes out.
okay. And
If Virat is there, no question. आप रजत पाटीदार को बॉस, you can't deflate रजत पाटीदार right now. He scored a good 30. He looked good. Second innings अगर मैं बाजू उठाऊं, 30 जो वो खेला रिवर्स स्वीप उसने कंट्रोल से खेला. The drives were there. He was getting to the pitch of the ball, something which Shreyas has been unable to do, right? So you can't retain Shreyas and drop Rajat Patidar to make way for a KL Rahul or a Virat Kohli. If both of them come in, then unfortunately both Shreyas Iyer and Rajat Patidar have to make the way out. But अगर एक आ रहा है तो the only one which goes out is Shreyas Iyer, not Rajat Patidar.
okay. Vineet, a couple of questions for you. First, will the management will be that bold to ask Shreyas Iyer to sit out and make way for either of them, Virat or KL, whosoever comes in, or they will ask Rajat Patidar, boss, you have to be benched and the one he has to come in the 11.
So basically, we've shifted our discussion from the squad to the 11. Let's look at the squad first. Squad आएगा तीन. So
Hmm.
there won't be much change in the squad if Virat Kohli comes in. Who goes out? Maybe a Sarfaraz Khan, right?
Hmm.
That's the only viable change in the squad. Now talking about the 11, I agree with Sahil where you cannot have Rajat Patidar being dropped. You know, he scored a good 32. He looked really good in that 32. The first inning, second innings not much, but you want to give him that extra game. Now the question is, do you give a longer rope to somebody like Shreyas Iyer, who everybody in the panel and everybody who's been talked about he's a good player of spin. My issue with him is, unlike Shubman Gill, where Sahil has mentioned कि यार थोड़ा mindset का issue है जो भी है, it's not about he's getting worked up or he's getting panicky. He's actually looking good. The thing is, he's not able to convert those 20s. So 20s ke baad, as like Jamie in one of the sessions mentioned, the kind of shots that he's gotten out to, all attacking shots, scoring shots, that those are the kind of shots you probably play when you're on 135, not 35, or 29 and not 129, right?
Hmm.
So that's the issue. He just had to recalibrate his approach in terms of he's trying to go the baseball way. That's what I see it. तुम मेरे bowlers को मार रहे हो, I'll also try and do that. He does not have to do that. He'll have to bide his time. I still think you should probably give a bit of longer rope to Shreyas Iyer. So in fact, yes, I'll probably, if it comes down to the 11 where KL Rahul comes in, I'll still drop Rajat Patidar, saying that boss, okay, you did well, but you anyway were the replacement. So you will have to bide your time. And
Okay.
I'll probably give that extra long rope to Shreyas Iyer. And of course, Mukesh Kumar, I'll say he was the reverse swing
No, I'll
tester.
come to
That
the
was his only
bowling bit
role.
after. I'll come to the
That
bowling
was
bit
his
after.
only role. Yeah.
I'll
So for
come.
me, Shreyas Iyer, I'll still give a longer rope to Shreyas Iyer and see what he does in Rajkot. I'll ask Rajat Patidar to sit, saying, "Boss, okay, what you did was well, but anyway, you were the replacement guy, right? So you take a step back. You will get opportunities. I'll continue with the Shreyas Iyer and KL Rahul. If he comes back, slots in at number 5.
Okay, okay. Srini, what are your thoughts? For Sahil, it's Patidar who should be there in the 11 if KL Rahul slash Kohli comes in. For Vineet, it's Shreyas Iyer who should be given the longer rope. What are your thoughts? Considering how promising Rajat Patidar looked in the first innings.
I know where you're coming from. I mean, I completely respect, where Rajat is coming from. I mean, like, showed a lot of confidence for a debut game. Especially in a battling lineup, where the responsibility just grew
Yeah.
multifold. But that said, I'll agree with what Vineet says. I'm not going to, kind of. I respect what Rajat has done. I respect the fact that what he's brought to the table.
Mm.
But I'll still go with a batter who carries a bit of weight on tracks like these and carries a bit of experience. I also, will if I'm a Rahul Dravid and a Rohit Sharma, I will probably sit down with Shreyas and have a very stern, very good chat with him. In terms of trying to understand how things are, and at times when he's lost his wicket, especially in Hyderabad, I think.
That slog,
When was it that he
Clock to
got
mid
caught
wicket.
slip?
it was in
First
Hyderabad.
innings.
Second innings,
Second
that
innings.
very loose cover drive. Yeah, second innings, Hyderabad.
Yeah. Yeah, so that dismissal, now it's the kind of dismissal. See, there every batsman, obviously, a bowler is bowling to pick a wicket, right? So no, you can get out. Good deliveries, you can get out at times. Concentration, breaks at times. Various factors come into play. But then there are certain dismissals which just leave a negative impact in your mind, and that Shreyas Iyer dismissal was one such, where it just gave the feeling that it was like he was like walking in a garden. The quality of that dismissal smacked of just being, it's ignorance, arrogance. I don't know what, I can't find the word. Point is, if I was Rahul Dravid, I would sit down with him and have a very, very stern chat. And it is ironical that at a time when you have the Indian coach is someone like Rahul Dravid, that kind of a dismissal is exactly an antithesis to the Rahul Dravid school of batting, which I said earlier, right? I mean, so that's something. If it came down to the bottom line of picking between Rajat and Shreyas, I probably would still stick with Shreyas. have that chat, but stick with Shreyas.
Okay, okay. I would rather go with the Rajat Patidar. So it's 2-all.
Fair enough. No, fair enough. Because Rajat, he got that chance. So it's not like if the team management were to say, no, I mean, we're going with Rajat Patidar. I think he deserves a chance for what he did in
Yeah.
Visakhapatnam. I'm not saying it's a blunder. It's a great thing. I'm saying
Hmm.
how I would think. That's the only.
I would just differ a bit because the way the two got out, Rajat on both occasions got out it was an unlucky dismissal kind of a thing. उसने wicket
Yeah.
throw नहीं किया. I just go with the temperament right now. कि temperament किसका better है इस time पे. Yeah, of course
You know,
it's
you
a
also
upbeat call.
you also would have
देखो
to
मैं ये
understand
सोच
the
रहा
fact
हूँ.
that
Yeah, yeah,
Rajat, it was his debut innings, right? So he
yeah,
would be a bit circumspect. So
yeah,
he
yeah.
won't be like as I wouldn't say carefree,
और
but he wouldn't be as free as a Shreyas Iyer going for his shots. Rajat Patidar on a debut match would be a bit circumspect, and those wickets were pretty much of that mindset.
Hmm. Yeah, Shini.
यार मैं सोच रहा हूँ जैक लीच था नहीं उस टेस्ट मैच में, शायद राजकोट में तो वापस आएगा वो. He'll be there.
Yeah, yeah.
That
No,
skilled
I think
attack will be.
Srini, I just read a quote yesterday. Brendan McCullum spoke to the English media, so they're still not sure about Jack Leach. The knee situation is not really good. They kind
Oh,
of took it as like they said that it was kind of a it was miraculous that he did bowl in the first test. They weren't expecting him to return to bowl because the knee was that bad. The inflammation they said was that high. So they're still hopeful that he could. They're still enjoying a vacation in Abu Dhabi right now. They have gone back, but it's still 50-50 for Jack Leach for the third test.
so then you are expecting possibly looking at the same 11.
Same 11.
English 11, yes. If Harry Brook becomes available again, he could be the addition. But उसका भी अभी personal emergency का कुछ idea नहीं कि क्या scene होने वाला है. हैरी ब्रूक ही एक है जो आ सकता है
And
क्योंकि
also,
एंडरसन को तो 10 दिन का ब्रेक मिल गया.
Empathy और
इसी ने अभी नहीं. But having said that, just going back to the press release, the moment I read the press release, Srini called me. I was driving then. जब मैंने press release पढ़ा उसके बाद, it was alarming. मतलब वो the choice of words and the phrasing of sentences, it was like मतलब तो proper एक जैसे सास बहू serial type drama डाल दिया था यार उस press release के अंदर. मतलब the
आप
coach is
इतना
in
वर्ड
confidence.
डाल रहे हो उसमें और फिर
हाँ,
बोलते हो अच्छा प्राइवेसी मेंटेन करो. अरे भाई
कोच से बात हो गया, कैप्टन से बात हो गया.
Okay,
Full
okay.
drama किया.
Just to add on to that England 11 thing, what the mindset of the England players are, they will change the 11. James Anderson, I don't think would be playing Rajkot. They probably will have somebody like an Oli Robinson, and that's in a way, Brendan
Yeah.
McCullum and Stokes thinking of not giving India the time and the option to plan. They'll probably
Keep them
have
guessing.
another bowler.
फिर तो
हाँ, रॉबिन्सन
करना चाहिए. फिर तो सिराज
रॉबिन्सन भी इनके आउट ऑफ सिलेबस आएगा यार इनके लिए तो.
बिल्कुल.
हाँ,
And on Rajkot track, you would probably expected fast bowlers to toil harder. James Anderson,
Yeah.
for whatever fitness it is, 41 years के हैं, वो उतना toil नहीं कर पाएंगे. Robinson is that kind of a bowler that he will very much like an Umesh Yadav is a workhorse. Will bowl,
Yeah.
bowl.
हाँ
So
पूरा दिन बॉल
Robinson
डालो.
for me seems to be the ideal choice ahead of
Yeah.
a Gus Atkinson, Mark Wood or a James Anderson in Rajkot.
Okay, अगर ऑली रॉबिन्सन आते हैं तो फिर सिराज आने चाहिए. Just being nostalgic. Just
Yes,
being nostalgic. Okay, before I move on to the comments, Sahil, Nasir Hussain made a very interesting comment that the one thing that is missing from this series is the James Anderson versus Virat Kohli competition. What do you have to say?
I think this test series is desperately missing Virat Kohli. As much as I picked Rohit Sharma on the stump cam, मतलब वो थोड़ा मतलब फ्रस्ट्रेट हो गए थे यार. मतलब मैं वो वर्ड्स रिपीट नहीं कर सकता जो रोहित के पिकअप हुए हैं विच आर लाइक स्प्रेडिंग लाइक फायर ऑन सोशल मीडिया. मेरा बोल बोल के गला थक गया. तुम लोग को बीप 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 सुनते क्यों नहीं हो. कोई भी गार्डन में घूमा तो
में
बीप
नहीं हो
बीप
तुम.
बीप बीप. मतलब I could feel that he's kind of missing the intensity which Virat Kohli used to bring to the table, especially in a test match or South Africa वगैरह. His celebrations and everything goes up. They haven't toned down as much as he has, but the celebrations are still right up there. And you miss the intensity which Virat Kohli brings to a test match. Yeah, that there's no question about that. And the way he plays, the way he operates, जो उसका demeanor वो carry करता है, the way he carries himself on the field. There's no replacement for Virat Kohli. All right, you just can't make a character like him overnight. मतलब वो वेस्ट दिल्ली की गलियों के अंदर वो कैरेक्टर बना है यार, वो मतलब आप कहीं पे भी बना नहीं सकते. सो desperately this series needs a Virat Kohli back in action, and as much as we hope that things are normal on his front, मतलब him missing 5 test matches will be a big blow to himself यार. मतलब वो नहीं चाहेगा कि मतलब कि वो 5 टेस्ट मैच इस अपने करियर के इस फेज में, वेयर probably I personally feel that he's going to prioritize test cricket more. So in this important WTC final cycle right now, him missing 5 test matches will be like, उसके लिए तो will be a blow to the gut यार. मतलब he wouldn't want to miss this for anything. So that is
Okay,
why I hope that the conditions are normal.
I have a question from my producer, Srini. Are the fielders more serious and on mark on the field if Kohli is around them?
हाँ, वो
Srini?
मतलब ऐसे थोड़ी ना कि कहीं दोपहर दोपहर को एक आध बार रोहित शर्मा बोल देगा वो गार्डन वाला कमेंट. ये तो भाई साहब 9 बजे से लगा होता होगा.
Okay,
See,
let's move on.
boss, I am of the strong belief that uh, much of India's aggression with that kind of with the pace attack that they put forth when we used to tour, and what began in 2018 with the introduction of Jasprit Bumrah in the Cape Town Test match, from there to England to Australia and back, so the cultural change where on the last day of the test match you are hooked onto your television set hoping now, yeah, like a Shami runs in and a Bumrah runs in and even an Ishant runs in and you are like, yes, now, like first slip, second slip, kind of baying for blood. वो आप मैं अगर पीछे चला जाता रहूं, कितने भी कप्तानों को देख लूं इंडिया के, चाहे वो सौरव गांगुली हो, चाहे राहुल द्रविड़ हो, चाहे MS धोनी हो, चाहे रोहित शर्मा हो, अजरुद्दीन हो, सचिन तेंदुलकर हो, अनिल कुंबले हो, मुझे वो अग्रेशन जो वो दिखता था और जो ऑब्वियसली मैं डिनाई नहीं करूंगा, मजा आता था देखने में. और वो विराट कोहली की, सो उसमें कोई दो राय नहीं, कोई दो राय
बॉलर बॉलर से ज्यादा विराट कोहली सेलिब्रेट करता है विकेट.
बिल्कुल. और देखो, बॉलर वही थे, बॉलर पहले भी वही थे. देखो, ईशांत शर्मा के लाइफ में ना 2 बार चेंजेस आई हैं. ये वो 2008 का जो बॉलर याद है, वो रिकी पॉन्टिंग को जो स्पेल डाला था, उसके बाद में देखो तो ईशांत हैड लाइक काइंड ऑफ टेकन अ बैक सीट, एंड देन आफ्टर 2011 द इंडिया टूर ऑफ वेस्ट इंडीज 2011 वाला, जिसमें राहुल द्रविड़ हेल्प्ड अस विन द जमैका टेस्ट मैच, वहां पे ईशांत काइंड ऑफ मेड अ कमबैक इन दैट सीरीज एंड देन करियर रिवाइवल हैपेंड. Again he lost team, and then again post 2017 we found a new Ishant Sharma, right? So it was again kind of leadership. वो 2008 में जब था तो वो अनिल कुंबले, MS धोनी के अंडर, गैरी कर्स्टन के अंडर वो जो चल रहा था, उसके बाद में फिर आया वो फेज जहाँ पे जहीर खान अपने ट्यूटलेज के अंदर लिया, फिर विराट कोहली. सो मैं कह रहा हूँ, to Virat lies the credit, to Virat and Ravi and Bharat Arun goes the credit of reviving the same bowling set that was already there with you. The only added personality there was Jasprit Bumrah. Of course, it gave a well-rounded meaning, but then वो उन्होंने खड़ा किया है. I don't, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm diverging, digressing, but वो, it's sad. It is sad that we have lost that way.
Okay, let's quickly move on to the comments, please. Okay, Mr. Singh, yes, sir, please say some stories about Kohli's first press conference after becoming captain in 2014 Aussie tour.
मैं था नहीं. I wasn't covering that series. मैं भी वही पढ़ा हूँ जो सब पढ़े हैं. मुझे so okay, I'll tell you, this is not from the press conference, but I remember having this chat with Ravi later on, much later, in terms of what happened when that captaincy change was happening, and nobody was close to Virat more than him. Everything and anything that Virat did professionally, whatever he changes he made to his career or whatever he did, was with a good understanding with Ravi, and that's how close they have always been. तो वो कहता था कि it was like a tiger जिसने अपना टेरिटरी मार्क कर लिया. See, this was Bharat Arun and Ravi explaining, कि मैं पूछा विराट wanting to take over as captain, बोला टाइगर ना अपना टेरिटरी मार्क करता है. वो टेरिटरी मार्क करने के बाद ना इट बिकम्स एक्सेप्शनली वॉलेटाइल एंड फेरोशियस. It is looking to prove a point that I am the strongest beast in this area. मेरे आजू बाजू नहीं आना, you know. वो उस फेज में था जब वो अपना टेरिटरी मार्क कर रहा था. You know, this was their way of explaining. And he was the strongest beast in that jungle at that point in time. You know, so everybody knew वो एक आता है, मतलब everybody knew that they had to make way for him. It was his moment that had arrived and you had to make way for him. That is why in the test series, middle of the test series, MS Dhoni also realized कि इसका time आ गया है कप्तानी, because he had become that kind of a beast inside the dressing room. तो उसका टाइम आ गया है. तो वो that was very fascinating to listen to रवि talk about. रवि तो खैर फैन ही थे विराट का.
Okay, next one, please. Okay, so what about KL Rahul and Ravindra Jadeja availability? Vineet, if you can quickly give us an update.
Look, from an availability point of view, KL Rahul most likely seems that he will be fit for the third test, so he will be part of the squad and could very well be in the 11. Ravindra Jadeja, as you know, it's a hamstring injury, takes a bit longer to recover, hamstring injuries. And as Sahil previously mentioned, he's already in the NCA. So again, from the quad pain that Rahul had and to the hamstring injury Ravindra Jadeja had, Ravindra Jadeja would take longer time span to get to recover. Rahul may not take that much amount of time. So it's most likely that Rahul will be in the squad and could get into the 11. Jadeja, you will have to wait for him to recover completely, and so he may not be available for the third test, or could not very well be in the squad as well. Could be added later on, as I said. I mean, as per there, maybe for the fifth test or around that time. But hamstring injury takes a bit longer to get recover for any player.
Okay, next one, please. Sahil bhai, Jurel doing debut.
I hope, I wish, I pray. I really wish him well, yaar. Matlab, I've been tracking.
You hope, pray. I just want him to
No,
debut.
yaar. Matlab, I have been a big fan of Dhruv Jurel since his under 19 days, India under 19 World Cup. फिर वो under 19 Asia Cup भी इंडिया के लिए खेला था. And I know his coach really well, so I've heard his like childhood stories for a long time now. And I remember last year during one of the Ranji Trophy games featuring Delhi and Andhra, if I'm not wrong, I was speaking to his coach on the sidelines. Coolchand is his coach. He was telling me about him, how ready he is for first class grind, how he scored a double hundred very early in his first class career, and that too as an opener for UP. So तब वो ओपन करा दिया था यूपी ने, क्योंकि मिडिल ऑर्डर में कोई जगह थी नहीं खिलाने की, तो उसको ओपन करा दिया था अर्ली फ्यू गेम्स के अंदर. और अभी लाइक ही हैज बीन डूइंग वेल इवन फॉर इंडिया, इवन फॉर यूपी इन द फर्स्ट क्लास सर्किट, इज फ्रेश ऑफ 3-4 50s. So I don't see any reason why you should delay the debut for him, because match temperament wise he's very much sorted, having played that role of a finisher for Rajasthan Royals in the IPL. मतलब रन चाहे कम बनते हैं, पर नीचे आकर जब आप वो छक्के लगाते हो फ्रॉम बॉल वन, यू नीड अ लॉट ऑफ मेंटल टफनेस फॉर दैट. सो ही इज कंप्लीटली रेडी, एंड इट्स जस्ट अबाउट कि when and how. It's just about when and not how when it comes to Dhruv Jurel.
Last year, I had an interaction with Dhruv, Dhruv himself during one of the tournaments. So you can sense that confidence in him. जब वो बात करता है, when he's talking about his batting, when he's talking about his cricket, you can sense that confidence, and you can sense that he wants to take that field, take that cap, India cap, and just go and perform. So yeah, he's enough, I guess.
Is one quote which has stayed with me for a long time now. It was sometime during the UP T20 league. I was speaking to him right before I was speaking to Rinku Singh. So I had a chance to speak to Dhruv Jurel. He said, बहुत ताने मारे मेरी फैमिली को लोगों ने, बिकॉज ही कम्स फ्रॉम अ वेरी हम्बल बैकग्राउंड. और भैया बहुत ताने मारे थे यार कि क्रिकेट खिला रहे हो, पढ़ाई नहीं करा रहे. तो मैंने वही कहा था कि इन तानों को चैंट्स में कन्वर्ट करूंगा, एंड दैट इज व्हाट ही हैज डन यार. मतलब यंग बच्चा है, हैज अ गुड फ्यूचर अहेड ऑफ हिम. सो ब्लड हिम नाउ यार. मतलब केएस भरत ठीक है, 30 ईयर ओल्ड हो गए, कितना चांस दोगे यार? ये यंग लड़का है, खिलाओ इसको.
नेक्स्ट वन प्लीज. Okay, Bumrah should not rest at Rajkot. If needed, rest him at Ranchi. Priyanshu is saying. Srini, quickly your take on this?
Yeah, very true. I completely agree with this. मतलब वो वर्कलोड मैनेजमेंट पहले वर्क तो करवा लो, फिर लोड मैनेजमेंट करवा लो.
Okay, next one please. Rohan Patil, why not make KL keeper and keep Rajat in the squad and throw Bharat, keep Bharat out? Vineet, your thoughts. Can KL keep in these conditions?
Look, he is coming. He had a surgery right? He's had injury on that same surgical part, which is a quad pain. Ab keeping up करते हो 100 over at least, you have to do sit-ups up and down. That's even more putting pressure on that quad. Do you want to, put that kind of a pressure on your premium batter and lose out on a batter just because you want a keeper, who can bat? You don't want to take that risk, and that is the reason why KL Rahul initially was not picked or was not an option for keeping in test in India. In foreign overseas conditions, that becomes more of an, no option kind of a thing, where you're with Rahul coming in, you are able to get in an extra bowler. So that's a, gamble that they take. But in Indian conditions, there's no way KL Rahul, you want to put that kind of pressure on KL Rahul. Talking about KS Bharat, I completely agree with what Sahil mentioned about Jurel. He's been blooded, he comes through the system and everything. KS Bharat, again, we all are looking at his secondary skill as a batter and assessing him on that. Look at his primary skill as a keeper. Has he done any blunder? Has he done anything wrong? Yes, in the Vizag test, there was a stumping that he missed, which could have proved,
Yes.
costly. Did not happen.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there is nothing that you can, pinpoint on Bharat's keeping skill and say, boss, keeping to nahi hai. So I will still say it is his keeping that you gotta keep in mind before, thinking about कि वो बैट से क्या contribute करते हैं. There are times, I mean, there would be times a player, Kevin Peterson का जो quote था कि
But
Jack Callis, I'm not trying to
you can
compare that.
only
Just let me complete. Callis को 10 टेस्ट लगे, 12 टेस्ट लगे रन बनाने में. Bharat is coming at numbers at number 8. He has 240s to his name. He has a 20 to his name. Temperamentally issue लग रहा है, but probably this is the kind of, time where you probably try to, settle this guy in. ये आगे आपको ज्यादा नहीं देने वाला, that is sure. But before throwing him out, throwing him out, you would probably want to have him for this test series. इस टेस्ट सीरीज के पूरे हिसाब से if he doesn't perform, then definitely throw him out. But I'm not in favor of throwing him out in between the series. पूरा टेस्ट मैच खिला लो, सीरीज खिला लो, उसके बाद आप देखो.
बट आपने ठीक है, ऐसा नहीं कि ये सीरीज से डेब्यू करा है, राइट? 2 मैचेस में उतना बेहतरीन कोई बैट से परफॉर्मेंस नहीं आया, ठीक है? एंड एक मैच में बहुत आई वाज इम्प्रेस्ड इन द फर्स्ट गेम फ्रॉम भरत कीपिंग.
Hyderabad, 41.
Yeah, not in the second one. The second one was a bit disappointing. केएस भरत के सामने ना इस समय कंपटीशन है नहीं कीपिंग का. अंडरस्टैंड दिस. आप कंपेयर करोगे किससे? सो एटलीस्ट गिव ध्रुव अ कपल ऑफ गेम्स to just understand his keeping, and if he's not performing that ways just as a keeper, then you should go back to KS or
No,
give
you
him a
understand. No, you understand the fact that Bharat is anyway is not going to be a
Exactly the
long-term
opposite,
prospect.
Soumya.
yeah.
He's not
It is
going to be
exactly the
a
opposite of what you said. You can't go to Dhruv Jurel because because Bharat is not performing and then see, and if it doesn't
exactly
work, then you come back to Bharat. No.
come back to Bharat.
You've given
Bharat
Bharat a
was
series, let play in the series.
Bharat
but
is
then Dhruv,
Bharat is not going to be a long-term prospect. That is there. He is just filling there till the time Rishabh Pant comes back, right? So anyway, ऐसा नहीं है कि आप इस पे build कर रहे हो. So whatever opportunities he's getting, आप at least series तक देखो. अब series के बाद what is the next series that you're playing? Test series that is in Australia. वहाँ पे mostly KL Rahul ही keeping करेंगे, है कि नहीं? तो यहाँ पे आप 1-2 मैच
जुरेल का
जुरेल
तो
को गिरा
चांस
के फिर उसके
तो आएगा ही ना.
ठीक है ना. जुरेल इज यंग यार, चांस मिल जाएगा. रहाणे को 5 साल बिठाया था ना, वेट किया था एक मैच के लिए.
but
I'm
if
saying at
one
least you
comes
have
back,
given the confidence, you have picked that guy as a specialist keeper. If he has not done any blunders in terms of keeping, try him for the series at least. फिर बैट से अगर कुछ करते हैं तो ठीक है, चांस है. अगर नहीं है तो आप बिठा दो. ऑस्ट्रेलिया के बाद जो होम सीरीज होगा उसमें किसी आपको नया खिलाए,
but
आप देख सकते हो.
the point is then जुरेल का टाइम ही नहीं आएगा ना, because पंत will be कभी तो
Yes,
वापस आएगा.
so
नहीं,
यार
I don't even buy that logic, Pant wala. I don't buy that logic. आप लोग, I don't know why nobody is giving this. लोगों को लग रहा है कि ऋषभ पंत जिस दिन रेडी हो जाएगा खेलने के लिए ना, वो तो रेडी है, मतलब आके टेस्ट खेलने लग जाएगा. नहीं
exactly.
भाई.
नहीं होगा, नहीं
Actually,
होगा,
I'm
right,
saying
नहीं
this
होगा.
One second, hear me out. You're talking about one second. Rishabh Pant as an athlete, आप क्रिकेट खेलते हो, फुटबॉल खेलते हो, स्पोर्ट जो भी खेलते हो उसको बाजू रखो, आप पहले एक एथलीट हो. Rishabh Pant to come back to become an international level athlete is not an overnight role. Once he begins playing, from there on, his comeback begins in terms of he making his way back to टेस्ट क्रिकेट विच इज द हाईएस्ट फॉर्म. आज आपके पास केएल राहुल अवेलेबल है. अभी विनीत ने क्या बोला इसी कन्वर्सेशन में थोड़ी देर पहले कि भाई जो लड़का सर्जरी से बाहर आया है, हाउ एम आई सो श्योर कि इसको 5 दिन का मैच में इसके मतलब इससे मैं कीपिंग करवा लूं, राइट? तुम ऐसे लड़के की बात कर रहे हो यार जो मतलब इतना बेकार एक्सीडेंट जो बाहर आया है, उसको टाइम लगेगा भैया. वो तो 6 महीना T20 खेलेगा वो, 20 ओवर वाला क्रिकेट. सो आई एम नॉट सो so let's not mix the two. Right now your option is this:
Okay, yeah,
either you
go.
continue with KS Bharat, or you drop KS Bharat and give Dhruv Jurel a chance, or you say ki no, KL Rahul, if he's fit, can he take the workload? Okay, because if he takes the workload, then you bring in you continue with the Rajat Patidar and you continue with the Shreyas Iyer, you bolster the batting lineup. Now ये मेरा सोचना है कि अगर विशाखापट्टनम जैसा विकेट रहा, ओके, then probably it is still understandable if the team management may see KL as an option, but that is like depending on what his fitness is and how they see him. But अगर विशाखापट्टनम जैसा विकेट रहा तो why not, they can possibly look at it. But अगर वो सोचते हैं कि KL को नहीं देना चाहिए, then it is open. You are saying Dhruv Jurel, Vineet is saying KS Bharat, which is fine. Again, it's about you thinking KL Dhruv should be given a chance. I think continue with KL, but KS. But the flip side again is I cannot be giving Dhruv Jurel a chance because KS Bharat नहीं चल रहा है, तो देखता हूँ Dhruv चलता है या नहीं चलता है, फिर मैं वापस KS Bharat के पास जाता हूँ. मैं एक सीरीज.
So my logic here is okay, Sahil. My logic here is as Shini mentioned, obviously ऋषभ पंत के बारे में बात हो रही है, लेकिन ऋषभ पंत एकदम से टेस्ट क्रिकेट नहीं खेलने आ सकते. दैट आई एग्री.
खेलना भी नहीं चाहिए.
Overseas you have a KL Rahul, right? इसके बाद सीधी
बट सौम्य उसमें गारंटी नहीं है. मतलब इसमें क्या गारंटी कि KL
I'm just giving you some instance. Okay, मैं सिर्फ की बात कर रहा हूँ. Okay, let's suppose you have a KL Rahul, right? इसके बाद आप सीधा टेस्ट सीरीज खेल रहे हो ऑस्ट्रेलिया जाकर, ठीक है? So now these 3 tests.
नहीं, आपका 2 होम सीरीज घर पे है. न्यूजीलैंड को खेल रहे हो आप. You are hosting one test series before Australia.
So how many matches do you have before Australia?
I think you have 3 games before Australia at home. New Zealand and Bangladesh both.
Exactly, 3 games. So if Jurel doesn't work for you in these 2 test matches or in these 3 test matches, you can shift back to a KS Bharat for the home series. Even if you don't have a Rishabh Pant.
So no. So what I am saying is मेरा logic एकदम clear है. I personally don't want KS Bharat anywhere around the Indian Test squad now. 7-8 game आपने उसको. This is my personal feeling. My instinct came from the game I saw at Delhi versus Andhra. The way he was struggling against off spin of Ritik Shokeen, I kind of made up my mind there only that he's not cut out for the Test arena. He's a good keeper. अभी भी मैं exceptional keeper नहीं कहूँगा because we have seen Riddhiman Saha in the past, who I personally feel has been the best bet with the gloves behind the stumps. Ekdam wo, he had everything in order when it come to wicket keeping on raging turners. Now this guy hasn't been keeping on raging turners in this series. KS Bharat इस सीरीज के अंदर आपको इतना नीट कीपर का आवश्यकता नहीं है. Ben Foakes, look what a phenomenal job he is doing यार. मतलब it hasn't been कि वो यहाँ पर रोज विकेट कीपिंग कर रहा है इन विकेट्स के ऊपर. So I kind of मेरा ये मानना है जो मैं पर्सनली चाहता हूँ, KS भरत को अब आप बाजू उठाओ, आप ध्रुव जुरेल को 3 गेम दो, आपको आगे का तैयारी करना है. ऋषभ पंत वापस आता है नहीं आता वो भी बाजू उठाओ. मैं तो ईशान किशन को अभी मेरी रेकनिंग में तो वो भी है ना. अभी ऋषभ पे क्यों जा रहे हो? ईशान को तो गेम टाइम दे दो. एक टेस्ट सीरीज दिया आपने उसको वेस्ट इंडीज के अंदर, उसके बाद आपने केएल राहुल को कन्वीनियंटली विकेट कीपर बना दिया बिकॉज यू थॉट ईशान इजंट कट आउट फॉर साउथ अफ्रीका विदाउट इवन ट्राइंग हिम. And KL Rahul all of a sudden became your test wicket keeper for what he did in the ODI World Cup. मतलब बहुत सारी चीजें I didn't quite understand what happened in South Africa, the way they treated the Ishan Kishan situation. He should have been your first keeper यार. आपको क्या मतलब, did anyone from NCA give a call to Rahul Dravid कि ऋषभ पंत will come and straight away play a test match? No, they didn't. क्योंकि अभी ऋषभ को खुद आइडिया नहीं है वो टेस्ट क्रिकेट के लिए रेडी है कि नहीं. आज अब रिकी पॉन्टिंग का जो क्रिकेट वाला इंटरव्यू है, अगर आप वो बात अगर ध्यान से पढ़ोगे, दे आर स्टिल नॉट श्योर अबाउट अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, about him playing 14 games, about him keeping in 14 games, about him captaining in 14 games. तो अभी हम टेस्ट क्रिकेट का तो सोच ही नहीं सकते.
उस कॉन्वर्सेशन से आई कैन जस्ट फिगर आउट वन थिंग कि ये एक कोच की अपने फेवरेट प्लेयर के साथ बातचीत हुई है एंड उसका जो प्लेयर है वो ये बता रहा है भाई आई एम रेडी, मेरे को खिला दो. It's just a feel good kind of
हाँ,
a.
करेक्ट सो उसी कॉन्वर्सेशन को आगे अगर मैं लूंगा, फॉर मी केएस भारत डजंट फीचर इन एनी टेस्ट स्कीम ऑफ थिंग फॉर मी पर्सनली. आई हैव माई लॉजिक. For me, a wicket keeper right now just can't be a wicket keeper and just can't be a basic contributor with the bat. For me, a wicket keeper is your seventh batter, and right now Akshar Patel and Ravichandran Ashwin are doing a far better job with the bat than KS Bharat. That for me is disappointing. हम 90s में नहीं जी रहे जहां पे आपको नायन मोंगिया और किरमानी टाइप कीपर्स चाहिए थे who are effective just with the gloves. You need the bat to do the talking. The game has moved to the baseball era where every run counts, where even a Rayan Ahmed is doing a proper solid job with the bat than KS Bharat. So for me, on those lines, I really want Dhruv Jurel to get these 4-5 innings in the next 3 tests so that he's in the scheme of things when it comes to the New Zealand and Bangladesh series. मतलब आप उसको ऑस्ट्रेलिया से पहले एक कीपर तैयार कर दो ना. जब आप ईशान आपके लिए अनरीचेबल है, ईशान से आपका बात नहीं हो रहा, ईशान को आप ट्रेस नहीं कर पा रहे कोहली की तरह, तो ठीक है ना, एक ध्रुव जुरेल तो तैयार करो. यहाँ बेसिक प्रॉब्लम इंडियन क्रिकेट बोर्ड या किसी भी स्टेट एसोसिएशन के इंडिया में ये है, खिलाड़ी बिगाड़ना यहाँ सबको आता है, यहाँ खिलाड़ी बनाना किसी को नहीं आता. सो यहाँ आपके पास अपॉर्चुनिटी है ध्रुव जुरेल को खिलाड़ी बनाने की. यू हैव बैक्ड हिम ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ फर्स्ट क्लास नंबर्स, इंडिया आउटिंग्स. Blood him in, give him 3 games, let him enjoy the IPL, give him test versus New Zealand and Bangladesh, and you have 2 keepers ready in Ishan Kishan and Dhruv Jurel. If not, Rishabh Pant is ready. Simple.
And
मेरा ये मानना है.
if not KL Rahul, even if you don't.
केएल राहुल इज नॉट कीपिंग. व्हाई इज केएल राहुल कीपिंग? क्या कोई यहाँ पे कोई किसी ने दुकान खोल रखा है क्या? केएल राहुल बोलेंगे मैं दुग्गल साहब हूँ, आज मैं कीपर हूँ, आज मैं बैट्समैन हूँ. ऐसा थोड़ी होता है. मतलब ऐसा नहीं होता यार. मतलब क्रिकेट चल रहा है. मतलब यू कांट. मतलब अब केएल राहुल इज सेइंग आई विल बैट इन द मिडिल ऑर्डर इन द आईपीएल बिकॉज ही वांट्स अ टी20 वर्ल्ड कप स्पॉट. ही सेज आई विल कीप इन द आईपीएल. भाई क्या मजाक है क्या? दुकान खोल रखा है किसी ने.
True. Okay, next one, please. Quickly. Next comment, please. Postman, English spinners outperformed Indian spinners till now. Is there any concern given Bumrah can't produce those magical spells again, time and again? Vineet, that's true.
They have got more wickets, of course, but that is the thing. यहाँ पे Bumrah as a pacer got 9 wickets in the game. यहाँ पे Anderson ने 3 wicket लिए, 4 wicket लिए. So you do that kind of sense with the spinners were bowling more, so they were getting wickets. And also, it's not about England spinners outperforming Indian spinners. Indian batters also didn't play that well. The England spinners. That's the reality of it. It's not. Yes, England did course correct very much after the Hyderabad test. They were decent bowling performances, but Indian batters were throwing away wickets. There were hardly, you could count the wickets that England spinners earned with their bowling skill in your hands. So it's more to do with how India managed, or India, played the England spinners more than England spinners out bowling, the Indian spinners. Of course, in Hyderabad, you saw Ashwin and Akshar or Jadeja were quite flat, but I think in the second test, Ashwin bowled very well in the second innings. But for me, yeah, by the numbers of it, they were bowling far more deliveries. And you also had Jasprit Bumrah was taking 9 wickets. So 11 wickets तो सिर्फ बाकी लोगों के पास गए. यहाँ पे spinner सारे wicket ले जा रहे थे because they were bowling well. But yeah, there is merit to that point, but there's also these factors to it also.
Okay, next one, please. Kuldeep, we should invest in Rajat in place of Iyer, keeping an eye on Australia where Iyer can't play. Srini, you agree to that? Bouncy, pacey wickets.
Yeah, but because Iyer can't play in December, January, you don't make a change in February this year. And that too in a very different country. क्योंकि वो आज से 9 महीने बाद किसी दूसरे कंट्री में नहीं खेलने वाला है, तो इसलिए मैं आज इंडिया में 9 महीने पहले इन द मिडिल ऑफ द टेस्ट सीरीज में चेंज कर देता हूँ. मतलब ये फोरसाइट का बाप है ये. मतलब ये जरूरत से ज्यादा फोरसाइट है. तो इतना फोरसाइट ही नहीं रहना चाहिए. आई एम जस्ट सेइंग, ये हम ना ये जो हम लोग काफी बार ऐसे बात हमारी चलती है कि ना नहीं चल रहा है बॉस, यंगस्टर को ब्लड करो. अनफॉर्चुनेटली क्या होता था, वो एक टाइम होता था, वो इंडिया ए की सीरीज चलती थी जूनियर लेवल के, वो एक साइमल्टेनियस क्रिकेट चलता रहता था जहां पे आपके जितने भी players who are knocking at the door of the Indian team would be busy playing some kind of competitive cricket or the other, and you would know who is in what kind of touch to kind of start guarding them and start kind of looking at an opportunity. But आप देखो late 90s और post turn of the century, वो चॉप एंड चेंज कितना भी हो, इट्स नॉट लाइक कोई बल्ला नहीं चल रहा है, कोई बैटर नहीं चल रहा है तो ओवरनाइट आप बोलते हो कि नहीं बॉस, आप नहीं होता है ऐसा, एक्सपीरियंस दिस लेवल ऑफ क्रिकेट एट दिस स्टेज, where you're playing at the highest level, you need some kind of, your presence in the team has to be backed by some kind of so by something that is being seen in the cricket that you play. So for example, in the case of Shreyas Iyer, like उसमें एक when it comes to playing spin, Indian conditions, white ball, red ball cricket, रणजी ट्रॉफी, खेला है, खड़ा रहा है उस लड़के ने, तो वो ऐसे नहीं कि आप ओवरनाइट वो एक एक टेस्ट में आप डिसमिसल देख लो। वो कानपुर वाला टेस्ट याद है आपको, जिसमें उसने जिताया था लास्ट इनिंग्स? वो नहीं खड़ा होता तो नहीं जीते होते हम लोग टेस्ट मैच, मैं आपको लिख के दे देता हूँ। तो वो कई चीजें हैं जो व्हाट ही ब्रिंग्स टू द टेबल, तो ऐसा तो आप नहीं कर सकते हो। You have to show patience, and in the middle of the series, इसको निकाल दो, उसको ला दो, but I'm not taking anything away from Rajat, and also kind of I give it to Singh.
I just feel ये जो criticism Shreyas का हो रहा है ना, it is more about the shot selection, the way he's getting
Yeah.
out, that's more of a top of the town, not because he's getting out. The way he's getting out, वो थोड़ा criticism attract कर रहा है. Yeah, the next one please. Next comment please. Yeah. उज्जवल मौर्य, साहिल भाई ये अपने दादा प्लेयर को ऑफ स्पिन को क्या हो गया है सर? कौन से वाले दादा प्लेयर?
नहीं, I knew this comment will come back to bite me because I had made this remark. No. So I had made this remark for Shreyas Iyer before the series got underway. We need players like him. And my reference, this reference for Shreyas Iyer was after the Indore test. Srini was there. I was watching the game with him. वो 20-25 रन का कैमियो खेला था श्रेयस अय्यर, बट वो उस विकेट पे जो रन बनाया ना इंदौर में, वेयर इट वाज एन एब्सोल्यूट माइनफील्ड, दैट इज वेयर आई काइंड ऑफ रियलाइज दैट बॉस टर्निंग ट्रैक्स पे तो ये दादा है, बट प्रॉब्लम ये है यहाँ पे बॉल टर्न नहीं हो रहा, तो मेरा दादा प्लेयर आउट ऑफ वो चला गया। मतलब विकेट वाज वेरी गुड यार, मतलब हैदराबाद अगर आप कहेंगे चलो ठीक है वहां पर थोड़ा डिफिकल्टी था बैटिंग वहां पे, लाइक इट वाजंट दैट इजी, लाइक विनीत वुड एग्री कंपेयर टू वाइजैक, हैदराबाद was a bit challenging क्योंकि वो scruff up कर दिया था like on both ends of the wicket, but Vizag I think was a golden opportunity for Shreyas, and Shubman probably did grab his chance, and the early wobble which he kind of experienced, start अच्छा नहीं था but he went on to convert into 100, and I think एक knock Shreyas को of substance चाहिए because 11-12 innings हो गई हैं, आपके रन नहीं लग रहे हैं, so you're on borrowed time right now, that's what I feel, and historically हमने देखा है he may still retain his space in the squad, क्योंकि लास्ट जब बॉर्डर गवास्कर ट्रॉफी हुआ था शुभमन गिल आए थे केएल राहुल की जगह, पहले 2 टेस्ट मैचेस केएल राहुल को मिले थे, लास्ट 2 टेस्ट मैचेस शुभमन गिल को मिले थे, और केएल राहुल भी श्रेयस अय्यर टाइप जैसे पैच से गुजर रहे थे उस टाइम, रन नहीं लग रहे थे, एक आध 2 स्टार्ट आई थी बट रन नहीं लग रहे थे, तो स्क्वाड में हो सकता है श्रेयस रहेगा यार, बट 11 का मुझे अभी कोई गारंटी दिख नहीं रहा है जैसा मुझे लग रहा है।
Okay, next one please. Seeing how baseball works, they will drop Anderson and bring Robinson. Baseball doesn't play same 11 usually. Vineet,
yeah, that's what I said. That's what I exactly said. That their thinking is that they are not going to give plans or fixed plans for India to to work around. So they will keep on changing at least the bowling attack, and that is the reason why they brought in 4 pacers also. Plus Atkinson, Oli Robinson, Mark Wood, Jameson, all different kind of bowlers. None of them are same. All different kind of bowlers. So I could see Robinson. I won't be surprised. One pacer only, but that could very well be Robinson.
Okay, last 2 comments please. Harsh Purohit, though the test series has been great, but really missing the Virat Kohli vibe in a test match. Your thoughts? This is my opinion. Sahil, I'll start with you. Your thoughts?
I agree यार, मतलब मैं हर्ष पुरोहित आपकी बात से completely agree करता हूँ, मतलब I think the energy which he brings to the table, एक intensity आता है यार, मतलब may it be a one-day game or a T20 game. I probably found him little off color in the T20 series against Afghanistan. Probably kind of नहीं लगा कि विराट कोहली, I kind of got a sense कि कुछ ना कुछ चल रहा है यार, because वो T20 सीरीज के अंदर मेरे को विराट नहीं लगा था, अफगानिस्तान सीरीज में कुछ तो था वहां पे, बिकॉज हिज कंडक्ट ऑन द फील्ड वाजंट द यूजुअल विराट, ही वाज स्टैंडिंग बाउंड्री रोप पे, कैच लेने के बाद भी सेलिब्रेशन उसका वो विराट टाइप नहीं था, और वो सुपर ओवर मैडनेस के अंदर आपको विराट कहीं नहीं दिख रहा था, that third game, if I'm not wrong, against Afghanistan. So I think something was happening from that series. Yeah, something was playing up on his mind. But we hope he comes back and comes back with the same intensity, because there's no like someone for advertisement of Test cricket right now. Virat Kohli comes to top of the list right now for advertising that format of the game. You desperately need a Virat Kohli for a couple of years to keep the game in good health.
Okay.
Not just
Last
Indian team, world cricket.
world.
Yeah, world cricket. Yeah.
Okay, last one, please. Okay. Why is no one mentioning Shreyas Iyer's fielding exploits? It proved crucial in our victory at Vizag. He dismissed Zach Crawley in the first inning and Ben Stokes in the second. Srini.
अरे यार मतलब yeah, I mean we should mention it, why not, but the larger aspect is something
बैटिंग
else.
करने का भाई, लोग केएस भारत को डिफेंड कर रहे हैं, कीपिंग अच्छा करता है, श्रेयस अय्यर का बोल रहे हैं फील्डिंग अच्छा करता है, तो बैटिंग कौन करेगा अगर यही सब कराना है तो?
रजत पाटीदार.
रन गिनाओ यार, रन चाहिए. I think to put a last word again, I think team management, Rahul Dravid should have a word with Shreyas Iyer, but again continue with him because batter तो वो बड़ा ही है इस condition में.
Yeah. True. Okay, last one. I have an interesting comment here for Vineet. Can I have that? Yeah. Vihan is saying, I still think Dinesh Karthik, who is commentating, can perform far better than KS Virat. Vineet, you forced us to flash this one. Go ahead.
Vihan Singh, Dinesh Karthik has played 19 test matches for India. Averages पता है कितना है? 18. KS Bharat with 7 matches averages 20. ठीक. You know, there's this thing, optics की बात आ जाती है. भारत ने किया है तो भाई बहुत ही बेकार प्लेयर है. धुरल जुरेल बैठे सबसे बढ़िया कीपर बन गया. You have to look at these things. There are six keepers who for India in Test cricket who have played less than 10 games. ठीक है, भारत अभी 7 पे है. उस 6 में से भारत has the second best batting average. The only guy above him is Deep Das Gupta, opener जो 28 के थे. I'm not saying कि भारत बहुत बढ़िया है, 10 मैच नहीं खेलेगा, but the kind of dirt, the kind of thing that you're talking about, भारत was first class खेल के इंडियन टीम में आया है, कुछ तो उसका लेवल है ना. Just don't discard him like this कि बिल्कुल बेकार है, DK कर रहा है. That is my only point. He may not be cut out for first class Test cricket. That is fine, but you have to give him his fair opportunity. टेस्ट सीरीज पूरा खिलाओ. एज साहिल मेंशन, अगर आपको ब्लड करना है जुरेल को, 2 आपके होम टेस्ट आ रहे हैं ऑस्ट्रेलिया से पहले, वहां बिंदास उसे खिलाओ, बट डोंट डिस्कार्ड द गाय लाइक दिस यार. मतलब ऐसे इंसल्ट करके मत डिस्कार्ड करो.
And if we are talking about specialist roles, then I'd rather see DK in the commentary box.
Exactly.
Mic drop. Okay, so let's just hope Virat comes back. Not just for his batting, but वो जो vibe लेके आते हैं टेस्ट.
No, Soumya, I'll interrupt you. Let's just hope the press release comes today. विराट तो छोड़ भाई, अभी विराट आएगा. अभी press release आने से पहले.
Comes today and on time. थोड़ा सा time से.
वो आएगा तो 11 बजे आएगा. अब तो क्या 8 बज गए ना. अब तो नहीं आया तो फिर 11 बजे आएगा.
Okay.
नहीं, I don't see आज आना है. आज नहीं आएगा, आज लग नहीं रहा.
नहीं, मेरा पॉइंट ये है कि जब भी आए विराट कोहली उस स्क्वाड के अंदर हो, कि बिकॉज आई एम नाउ पर्सनली, मेरे अंदर का विराट कोहली फैन जाग चुका है, तो आई एम मिसिंग हिम, सो आई जस्ट वांट हिम टू बी देयर. उसका नाम होना चाहिए. एंड वेल जेंटलमैन, थैंक यू फॉर दिस वन. वी विल कनेक्ट अगेन और बात करेंगे इंडियन क्रिकेट के बारे में और इस टेस्ट सीरीज के बारे में. बाय बाय, गुड नाइट, शबा खैर.
फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स,
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स,
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट.